Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, starting with today's lecture, which we have left in our last classes, uh, the very first topic that is in the cellular system that we are going to study today is sectors or sectoring. Okay, I think we have already started this slide in the previous week when we have our class. So what is sectoring? Okay, if you people remember, we have talked about the co-channel interference. Okay, we were studying about the that what size of the cluster is more beneficial. Okay, either the small one and the large one, and we have explained both of them very clearly. हमने दोनों को बहुत ही अच्छे से explain किया था that which cluster size is more beneficial, either the small one or the large one. And we came up to a point that interference is something that we can take as a trade-off, and we can just that it's too late to come to class. So हमने ये देखा था कि इंटरफेरेंस इन समथिंग कि जिसको हम एक ट्रेड ऑफ की तरह हम ट्रेड ऑफ कर रहे हैं, जिसमें हम इंटरफेरेंस को we are not focusing on interference as if we can troubleshoot with this interference, we can overcome with the interference, but the thing is that we have to accommodate more subscriber, and we have limited bandwidth, limited frequency when we were studying this cluster size, right? So how would we, now we are seeing how would we um, reduce this interference, right? So for this we have come up to sectoring, or we can also say sectors. Students, now what is happening in this, what is the solution that sectoring is providing? That is, we have divided our cell. You know what is a cell? We are talking about this since from the very first day when we start the cellular system, right? It's a geographical unit of a geographical area, right? So what are we doing in sectoring is that we are dividing the cell into further sectors. Okay, what are we doing? We are dividing the cell into sectors, right? Here you can see a cell is divided into 3 sectors. Okay, that is represented with these color, that is red, green and blue. Now when we are dividing our cell into sectors, we are not using the omnidirectional antennas now. Okay, we are using directional antenna. Okay, so when we are using directional antenna, the coverage is just directed towards the only that sectors. Okay, it will not be we will not face that much interference that we were facing when we have a single cell without a sector, right? Now this is how interference is kind of reduced by sectoring, by using directional antenna, and by dividing our cell into sectors, right? So here you can see uh, this is the whole cell, right, which is not being divided as yet. Now here you can see the cell has been divided into 3 sectors. In this it is divided into 6 sectors. Okay, this is how the cell are divided into sector. What is site? Site is an area of the cell. Okay, one of the student asked me in the last class that, Miss, what is site? Site is the area, okay, from where any of the work is has to be done. Okay, So this is the area of the cell which is known as the site, and the site has been divided into sectors. Okay, each of the sector is also known as a cell, right? Because it's the area of a cell which has been further divided. Okay, now you can see in this image that these frequency are different. These frequency are different within one cell also. Okay, each of the sector have different frequency. Okay, each of the sector have different frequency. Now it is not like that one cell have one of the cell have different frequency, but within a cell different sectors have different frequencies. Okay, so this is how sectoring is done. When this is the type of the sectorized antenna shown in this diagram, in this image. Now, what is the limitation of sectoring? Since each sector uses distinct frequency, handoff would be required when user moves from one sector to another. Now, you people know what is handoff. Do you remember what handoff is? Any one of you remember what is handover or handoff?
मैम जब यूजर ड्राइव कर रहा होता है कार में तो वो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह मूव कर रहा होता है, तो एक जगह से उसके सिग्नल्स कट के दूसरे एंटीना के
बेटा
साथ
आपकी
कनेक्ट हो रहे
आवाज
होते
क्लियर
हैं, इसे
नहीं है.
कहते
I
हैं।
cannot understand what are you trying to say.
मैम हैंड ओवर फ्रीक्वेंसी वो होती है जब हम एक बेस स्टेशन को छोड़कर दूसरे बेस स्टेशन की तरफ मूव करते हैं.
Yes. When we move from, you can say, one cell to another cell, or one disconnected from one base station and connected to another base station, so this is known as handoff, or we can also say it as handover or handoff. Okay, whatever you like to say. So now we were saying that we have done sectoring. We have divided our cells into sectors. Okay, we have divided our cells into sectors. Now when we have sectors, that means they have different frequencies. Now we have to face more handoff than which we were facing before. When we have single cell, there were no sectoring. We were facing handoff, but we were not facing frequent handoff. Are you getting my point? Because the area of the cell was more than that we have it now after sectoring. Okay, when we have sectored the cell, we have directional antenna, we have different base stations. That means when we have one cell, we were moving, we were within the cell, we did not need any head off. But within the cell now we have sectors. If we move within the cell also, we can experience handoff. Okay, when we are moving from one sector to another sector, we will experience more handoff than we were experiencing it before. Okay, so sectoring was a solution for sectoring was solution for your interference, but now it's a limitation. It has a limitation. Okay, sectoring also has a limitation, and that limitation is frequent handoff or handover. Right now, for that we have micro cell zone. Okay, the solution for the limitation of sectoring, we have micro cell zone. Now, what is micro cell zone? Micro cell zone refers that when we are moving from one sector to another sector, okay, the frequency that we are using, okay, will be switched to that sector to which we are entering, okay, to which we are visiting. Whatever frequency that we are using, that we have been accommodated, will be switched to the sector where we are moving. Okay, so this is the solution of micro cell zone. Okay, it is a solution of sectoring which is known as micro cell zone. Are you getting my point, students?
नो मैम रिपीट करें.
सी बेटा, हमारे पास पहले हमारे पास तो सिर्फ सेल था, राइट? वी हैव divided it into the sectors. Okay, now when we have divided this into sector, we have a problem that we will have more handover, we have frequent handover, right? So how would we what is handover, right? Handover is when we are again and again moving from one sector to another, or one cell to another cell. Okay, when we are moving from sector to sector, we will experience handoff. Okay, we will experience more handoff than that we were experiencing before, right? Because we have different base station in every, different frequency in every sector, different base station in every sector. We are again and again changing our sectors, areas. So for that, we have to experience handover. Okay, so this is a limitation of sectoring. Now, how can we prevent this limitation? How can we handle this limitation? This limitation is handled in the way that when we move from one sector to another sector, it is not like that we need to change the frequency. We need to connect to another frequency or base station, but whatever frequency we are using, whatever channel we have, that will be switched to that particular sector to which we are moving. Did you get that? अब हमारे जो है फ्रीक्वेंसी जो है, जो जहाँ पे मौजूद है, राइट? ऐसा नहीं होगा कि we have different frequencies in different sector. We move that, we have to disconnect and connect to that one. ऐसा नहीं है. अब जो भी frequency हम use कर रहे होंगे, वही frequency जो है दूसरे sector में switch की जाएगी. Okay, so हमें hand off face करना नहीं होगा. Did you get that?
यस मैम.
Okay. Is it clear to everyone? Yes, please. Is it clear to everyone? Who is this?
नो मैम, ये बात समझ नहीं आई, आप इसको रिपीट कर.
बेटा आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं है, आप जो भी है.
मैम एक बार फिर से समझा दें.
एक बार फिर से समझा दूं. देखिए बेटा, इट्स सिंपल. ये बात आपको क्लियर है कि सेक्टरिंग क्या होती है? इज इट क्लियर?
यस मैम.
ओके, सेक्टरिंग क्लियर है, राइट? अब सेक्टरिंग की वजह से क्या हो रहा है? हैंड ऑफ हो रहा है. ये भी क्लियर है? ज्यादा हैंड ऑफ हो रहा है, फ्रीक्वेंटली हैंड ऑफ हो रहा है. इज इट क्लियर अबाउट द हैंड ऑफ?
यस मैम.
Okay, and sectoring is clear. Hand off due to the sectoring is also clear. Now let's come up to the limit. This was the limitation actually. Hand off was the limitation of sectoring, right? Now, how can we handle the limitation? अब हम limitation को कैसे handle करते हैं? उसके लिए हमारे पास micro cell zone है, right? देखिए, जब हम hand off का मतलब क्या है? जब हम एक सेल से दूसरे सेल में जा रहे थे, तो we need to disconnect from one of the base station and connect to the other one, or we have to disconnect from one cell and connect to the other cell, right? So this is called handoff, right? Now how would we handle this handoff? चूंकि हमने सेल को डिवाइड कर दिया है सेक्टर्स में, हमने कहा कि अब सेक्टर्स में की वही जो सेल में फ्रीक्वेंसी थी उसी को ही हमने बांट दी है सेक्टर्स में. ओके, डिफरेंट सेक्टर वुड हैव डिफरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसी. सो द रीजन ऑफ हैंड ऑफ वाज व्हेन वी मूव फ्रॉम सेक्टर टू सेक्टर. ठीक है, तो हमारे पास क्या होगा कि हम अपने फ्रीक्वेंसी से डिस्कनेक्ट होंगे, वहां पे जो फ्रीक्वेंसी हमें अलॉट की जाएगी उससे कनेक्टेड होंगे वहाँ पे जो बेस स्टेशन होगा दूसरे सेक्टर में उससे कनेक्टेड होंगे बिकॉज वी आर मूविंग, राइट? नाउ दिस इज अ इशू, दिस इज अ प्रॉब्लम। लेकिन इसमें क्या होगा कि जो भी फ्रीक्वेंसी आपके पास है व्हेन यू आर in one of the sector, whatever frequency you are allotted, whatever channel you are using, the same will be switched to the sector where you are moving. Okay, जहां आप जा रहे हैं ना, आप आपकी जो फ्रीक्वेंसी आप यूज कर रहे हैं वो उस सेक्टर में स्विच की जाएगी, राइट? ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको जो है वहां पे कनेक्ट होना, डिस्कनेक्ट होके यहाँ से डिस्कनेक्ट होके वहां पे कनेक्ट होना होगा। यस, आपकी जो फ्रीक्वेंसी है वो स्विच होगी, राइट? दिस इज ऑल डन बाय द एमएससी। जो बेस स्टेशन के पीछे चीजें, वो बेस स्टेशन को वही फ्रीक्वेंसी देंगे जो आप यूज कर रहे हैं। ओके,
Yes.
इज इट क्लियर नाउ? I would ask you about this कि sectoring क्या है, sectoring की limitation क्या हो सकती हैं, right? And how would we cater with that limitation? So you need to explain each and everything. It is not like you just write 2 sentences about it. You have to explain that how it is happening. Okay? Who is this? That ma'am, please repeat. Okay, I'm repeating it uh, once more
ये
for some of
समझ
the
अब समझ आ गया मैम।
किसी ने मुझे मैसेज किया इनबॉक्स में, आप ही थे कि मैम प्लीज रिपीट।
यस मैम, ये पहले किया था।
ओके, सो this was all about the sectoring and its limitation and how to handle sectoring. Okay, so इसके बाद next what we have is channel allocation scheme. Okay, now आपके पास जो टाइम है हमारे पास वो बहुत कम है। आई एम जस्ट एंडिंग अप दिस सेशन। Zarish, please take the pictures of the participants and we will rejoin, okay, again. So please students rejoin as soon as possible. I will not accept you between the lectures.